How's it going, everyone? This is Jose Trujillo. I was driving here. Well, I'm not. Came to pick up my son from school, and I got some time to make a video here for you guys and share some of my thoughts and processes and whatnot. A little bit of stuff that I've learned along the way. And one of the things that I was thinking about right now, it's like, man, I got to do this, I got to do that, right? I gotta go create some artwork, and then all the stuff that includes, right? That encompasses being a working artist. All the daily stuff that I have to do, my daily routines, right? If you don't have routines, pay attention. You need routines. Ain't nothing gonna happen unless you got routines, okay? And I don't know how serious they are for you, but you have to have routines. You have to have certain things that you do daily. Anyways, I'll leave that for another video. But guys, there is one problem, and only one problem is there. Every artist has this challenge. There's only one challenge. Many artists think that they have all these challenges, like I have to learn how to create artwork, right? That's not even a challenge. I mean, you don't learn how to do that. You're not an artist. But that's not even a challenge. That's something that it's a must, right? It's basic knowledge. But we tend to think that those are the challenges, right? We get stuck on that. Like, some of us have been painting forever, and we're still looking at our art. We're like, oh, what's wrong with it? You know, we still think that that's the challenge, especially for the working artist. And what I mean by that is someone who's trying to do something with it. Not just create artwork for the sake of creating artwork, but try to take it to the market, try to be, get a name for yourself, make a name for yourself in a gallery system or whatever, get published, whatever you're trying to do. There's only one problem. There's only one problem. I call it problem. I wanted to call it challenge, but it really is a problem. It really is a problem because it's a mental problem that we've constructed ourselves. I think that the community itself tends to pass out this negative, wrong information, and all that stuff that people throw around in the art community. I've heard it. I've said it myself. It never felt right, but I was part of it because everybody was saying it. So I was like, oh man, well, this must be the way out, right? And the thing is that we focus on all these things that we think that are our challenges being working artists. We focus on the artwork, on the art style, on the materials. We focus on on criticism, on feedback, on all of this stuff. And it especially has to do with, the reality is that we're selfish. And nobody wants to hear that, but the reality is that we're thinking about me. It's all about me, thinking about how people perceive me. What do people think about my artwork? It's mine and me, right? And the biggest challenge that you have as an artist, as any professional, but especially, because we're talking here about art, is that nobody knows you. And nobody can, not nobody, but a lot of people, man, can't wrap this thing around their head. It's just so damn hard to wrap it around your head. I know because I've been through it. It took me a long time to understand this. Not from a theoretical point, like not from theory, right? Like, oh yeah, I understand. Yeah, I have to be known. No, like experiential, where you actually know. You have to know things, and not know in theory, but actually know. Like you have to know things. The type of knowledge that only comes about when you fall on your face for 100 times, and then you're like, oh, I won't date that person again, or oh, I won't do that again, that you actually know. I know I'm hammering it, but I want to separate theoretical knowledge from experiential. Experiential is the holy grail of knowledge. So what is it? I've been cooking this up with you guys here. What is it? What is the number one challenge? It's that you are not known. I'm not known. You're not known. Don't know you won't flow you. People don't know you, they will not flow you. I learned this from an entrepreneur. If people don't know you, they're not going to flow you. They're not going to think about you. They're not thinking about you. So why would they even consider looking at your artwork? Much less spending a dime for it. They never heard of you. They don't know who you are, And this is a cold wake-up call for many of us. It was for me, certainly. It was for me, and I didn't want to understand it, because see, what we want to do is we want to stay comfortable. It's like we want to eat the cake, but we want to stay slim. You know, like, well, choose one, right? You want to be this famous artist, but you don't expose yourself. You know, it's so there's a sacrifice that needs to be made that we don't make. There's a price that needs to be paid, right? You gotta pay that price, and that is really the ultimate challenge of any professional. But again, we're talking about art here. Is people don't know you. When people ask me, like, what's wrong with A, B, and C in my artwork, I realize either two things. Either they haven't learned how to create artwork, and I'm not talking about to my expectations or to the public's expectations. No, if you're starting to create artwork, you have to really practice. I don't care what it looks like, whether it's abstract or it's, you know, your work looks like, I don't know, Goya's or John Singer Sargent or whatever, Sorolla, pick one, you know, something super awesome, realistically beautiful looking, you know, that you think that people are going to. It doesn't matter what it looks like. You can start creating artwork that looks very nice, but you may not have gone deep into your artwork, and that's why you're having trouble with it. You're having even trouble creating more work, creating collections of work. You have, you know, you can. That is the first thing that I see. People don't know how to paint, and I'm not talking about knowing how to paint as in pretty pictures, but like you haven't practiced enough, whatever that looks like. You could be doing, you know, conceptual stuff, and people sniff whether you've been working at it or not, because people know that. People are not stupid. One of the things we think of the consumer, of the art consumer, is that we think that they're dumb. They're not. No consumer is dumb. Consumers are very, very intelligent. They know how to exchange their value, their income, their money for what they think it's value. That's one. The other thing that I see is that people are like, I don't know what's happening. I can't, you know, nobody is really buying my work. I open my website, whatever, and it's because nobody knows them. You know, they may have nice work, but usually it's the first one. Usually they haven't, right, to start out with. But those of you who already are creating, you know, quality art, whatever quality is, right? Only you know that, because you're the one who spent the effort on it. Usually, if you already create artwork, it has to do with the fact that nobody knows you. Very few people know you. And you know, people say people know me. I have 300 friends. It's nothing. You know, I have 300 Facebook friends. It doesn't work that way. Like, you need a lot of people to know you. So I'll leave you with that. The name is Jose Trujillo. Take care, guys. Remember, the biggest challenge is people don't know you. Bye-bye.